Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second youth live stream. I'm Maya.
And I'm Mariah. We are so happy and excited that you guys are here today.
Yes, very fun times. Today is pajama day, so I usually don't wear sequins to bed, but I have my pajama pants. If you guys can see my little fit that I have on today. But today is also Teacher Appreciation Sunday, so that is a lot of fun. Um, I don't know. I thought it would be cool if we kind of talked about some of our favorite teachers that we have. I know one of my favorite teachers is Miss Houston from 4th grade because she let us stand on our desks when we read poems. So that was fun. Raya, who is one of your favorite teachers?
I never had her, but I could say my mom, because she is a teacher, because she basically taught me everything, being with me my whole life.
That's true. So we're gonna open up this question to our panel too. We have Olivia, Trey, and Salon here with us today. Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. So we can kind of start with Olivia. Who's one of your favorite teachers and why?
One of my favorite teachers is my advisor, Miss Tursich. She's had me throughout all 4 years of high school, and she's just been the best. She's always ready to listen to my feelings. She gives me space to cool down when academics get really hard. She's just really understanding. So she's probably one of my favorite teachers.
Yeah, that's nice. And also, I forgot to say this at the beginning, but you guys definitely comment your answer, your favorite teacher, and why. We can go to Trey next for his answer.
My favorite teacher has to have been my kindergarten teacher, Satya, because I was literally one of the worst children ever, and she was still nice to me, and she was just the best teacher ever.
That's great. How about we go to Salon for his answer?
So my favorite teacher is either my kindergarten teacher, Miss Toy, or, well, now Mrs. Toy, but because she was nice, and my other one was Mrs. Manley, who was my 4th grade teacher and part-time 5th grade teacher, and she was super nice too.
That's awesome. And I guess we don't really appreciate our teachers as much as we do. I know they were talking about on the adult service how they usually get more complaints than gratitude, which I feel like I've definitely been complaining a lot this year. But also along with school and all that, a lot of activities have also been opening up. I know they started football. The Big Ten, I believe, started their football. So, Mariah, you kind of want to talk about that?
Yeah, so a lot of sports have been starting. So make sure you comment how your school is doing sports and what sports you are involved in. So Maya, what are you doing?
Or you can also comment other activities and how you feel about them opening up. I know our football team has started playing and we're doing better than last year, so that's great. But I mean, it's definitely weird having to be social distance and whatnot. But I know Trey is also doing band, so how is your school adjusting to that with your games and everything?
So for our school, it's kind of weird because everyone is still social distance as normal, but the football players aren't really social distance, so it's kind of weird that way. But it's just not normal, and but I'm glad we have a season in general.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's weird that the football players haven't been social distancing because they're all on the sidelines, and I just pray that nobody gets anything. But I know Olivia is also doing volleyball. So, what about you with that?
Yeah, volleyball, on the court, I guess it's a little easier social distance because we all have our positions. But because it's an indoor sport, at least at my school, we're restricted to 2 guests per person. Spectators and people on the bench are all expected to wear their masks. You can wear it while you play, but that's kind of difficult. Um, but I'm just grateful to have a season, especially with an indoor sport, because we're all so insulated and like breathing a lot. But yeah, it's aside from that, it's been a pretty normal season.
Okay, that's fun, especially because it's your senior year too. So that's really nice that you get to have your volleyball season. Salon, do you have any activities you've been doing or anything you've been trying to adjust to because of Corona?
Well, for me, I'm just trying to. Well, first of all, hockey for me starts in January, which is super delayed due to Corona. And then football, I have no idea what's gonna happen, so I just have to like keep training, do whatever I can to keep my skills up.
That's good. That's super fun that um, you have hockey starting soon. Um, Also, going along with these activities, you can also get involved with our youth ministry. So we've really been emphasizing this because we want everyone to go to faithministries.church/youth and fill out that Google form because everyone is going to get the opportunity to sign up for a committee, and all the committees are going to meet this week with their adults that are for each committee, and then you guys are going to come up with the plans for October. So next week you may not be seeing any of us on the screen, or you may be seeing us on the screen. So it just depends on what you sign up for and what you want to get involved in with. So what want to talk about what's going on today for a live stream?
Yes, so our agenda or like planner for today is we are still going to be talking about Tim Tebow's This Is the Day video, and he's going to talk about how we shouldn't focus too much on ourselves when it comes to living our day to the fullest.
Yep. And we are going to do a game now, which is not really related to the lesson, but we're going to play a game called Scattergories. So with this game is definitely encouraged for everyone to comment. And like Mariah said last week, or with me, I don't remember, it's a blur. Comment like your life depends on it. So really, really get interactive with this activity. So what's going to happen is a certain topic up on the so for example, foods that's the letter B or something like that. That's not one of them. But when that question pops up, everybody is going to comment different things that come to their mind that start with that letter. So what we have is us on the panel. We have our pen and paper, or writing it down somewhere else, while you guys are going to comment. And you're going to have 30 seconds, I believe, to comment your answers. So we're going to start with the first one. Here we go. All right, foods that start with the letter P. We'll see if we can get our timer up. All right. Alright, so the timer is up. Let's see what we got on the panel first, and then we will look at the comments while they're still coming in because there's a bit of a delay. But let's start with Salon. What do you have on your list for foods that start with the letter P?
So for me, I have potato, pasta, pizza, pineapple. I don't know if this counts, but popsicle and peach.
Yeah, popsicle counts.
That's good. That's really good. Let's see what we got in our comments.
Mara's was really good. She said pancakes, purple grapes, pasta, pancetta, pan-fried steak, peaches, plums, and pomegranates.
Wow.
I got like 4. So
Wow.
that's like
Those are very creative foods. Like, I was going with the basics. Like,
right. Pizza.
I got popcorn.
I know
a lot of
probably
people.
not get popcorn.
Let me see the comments. A lot of people got pizza on there, peas, pasta, pancakes.
I put panini on mine because it reminded me of like the song.
The song you created. All right, so that was fun. You guys are doing great commenting. Let's see if we can get more for the second one, which is animals that start with the letter M. And I mean, I guess the first one is super obvious for that. So start a timer. All right, so this one was hard. This one was really, really difficult. Let's go with Olivia and see what she got for hers while we wait for the comments.
Okay, I have mouse, meerkat, monkey, manatee, and mantis. If that works, about the first part.
That's good. That's good. I didn't even think of.
How did you come up with anything besides monkey?
I know that monkey was the only thing that came
And
to
then
my
I
mind.
put marsupials because that's like koalas.
I was gonna say marsupial.
Yeah.
I feel like that's too broad though. So I guess I just covered that.
Meerkat was good. Let's see what we got here. Oh, manatee.
Manta
good.
ray.
That's good.
That's alright. That's a
Mustang.
good one.
They should all do this.
Moles. That's very creative because I really could only think of monkeys. That's all that came to my mind. I didn't think of mouse.
Oh.
Mice. Because Olivia said that. I didn't think of that. That's very wow. My brain must not be working today. Let's see if my brain can work more for the third one, which is
Oh, yeah. Okay. Celebrities that start with the letter A. Can it be first name or last name, or does it have to be first name?
let's go with first name or last name just to make it a little bit easier. Okay, when the music goes down, I know it's time to that the timer is up. So let's go to Trey for the celebrities.
Okay, so for 1, I had Ariana Grande. For 2, I had Albert Einstein. For 3, I had Abraham Lincoln. And then for the last one, I had Adele. And that's it.
Oh, so you went for the historical celebrities. I wasn't even
going
thinking
for like
about that.
actors.
Yeah, I was thinking actors, singers. Like I got down Ariana Grande. I put Adam Levine, Adele. Let's see what we got in the comments.
Okay, I put Amy Adams, Adele, Adam Sandler, Adam Levine, Anthony Mackie, Ariana Grande, and Anthony Brown in group therapy.
Okay, just listed off the whole list. Oh, Allison Stoner. That's a good one.
Angie Thomas.
That's good. Oh yeah, Angie Thomas, the author. Those are some good ones that we have in the comments. Obviously, knew a little bit more than us, but all right, number 4. Locations that start with the letter K. So that could be cities, states, countries, just different regions that start with the letter K. to Salon for his answers.
So I only put down 3, and they were Korea, Kalahari, and Kentucky.
I didn't get any of those.
I didn't even think of Korea. Oh my gosh. I think a lot of people in the comments said Kentucky. That was a really big one. And Kansas too. I wrote down Kansas.
I wrote Kansas and Kansas City.
Yeah, same.
And I put
Same.
Kenya.
Oh, Kenya's a
I
good
mean,
one.
I had Kazakhstan.
I had Kazakhstan too.
Kazakhstan?
Is it still a country though?
It's
I'm not sure.
It
Last time I
feels
looked,
like
it was.
thing.
I never thought of that one. That's another creative one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you wanna go to the next one, Mariah?
Yep. So next one is superheroes that start with the letter B. So this one's gonna be difficult too.
This one is so sad. Alright, so I think the pretty obvious one was Black Panther. And then I think we also got Batman in the comments and Black Widow too.
I actually
is
got a
good
lot
one.
of them. Surprisingly, I got a lot this time. So I got Black Widow, Batman, Bucky Barnes, Bruce Banner, Clint Barton, Black Panther, Beast Boy, and Beast from X-Men.
Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go!
Yeah.
That's very creative. On the panel, did you guys get anything else that wasn't named already?
Hear me
I don't
out.
think
I
she's-
said Betty White.
Whoa! That's one.
She's pretty super, and she can be considered somebody's hero.
Surely,
That's-
yeah.
that's
We'll
You're
get
right.
to you.
You're right. I think we also got Batgirl in the comments too. Gotta do it for the ladies as well. Alright, moving on to the next one. Types of transportation that start with the letter T. I didn't even think of. Alright, I could only think of trains. So, let's go Trey.
Yeah,
Which one did you get?
Okay, so I had train, I had taxi, I had truck, I had tricycle, and I had tram. But,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, how did I not think of like a taxi? Oh
I did truck at like the last minute because I don't know how I didn't think of truck.
yeah, we have trolley and tram.
Yeah.
Tricycle I didn't think of either. That is literally blowing my mind. That I didn't even think of like a tricycle or a taxi for transportation. Because I wrote down trains and then this is a little corny of me, but I wrote down like time traveling because technically that could be transportation or like teleportation. I don't know. Does that count?
Sure, Maya.
Whatever.
I guess.
Okay. Right, you can read the next one.
Okay. So the next one is names that start with the letter C.
I'm gonna get a lot for this one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Olivia for her list of names.
Okay, I have some good ones. We got Carrie, Camille, Carter, Camilla, Carl, Charlotte, Caesar, and Campbell.
Wow.
Those are some good ones. Let's look at the comments. We have Christ, Charlotte, Cody, Corbin, obviously. We've got Corbin up there, and Chad. Carly, Candace, Cameron, Cecilia.
I haven't seen Chrissy yet. Or Salon. It's kind of an obvious
Yeah,
one.
I was thinking Salon and Caleb.
Yeah, I put both Salon and Caleb.
Of course you did.
Chris. What else did I write down here?
I did Caitlin.
Oh, that's a good one. Caitlin. I wrote down Kathy.
I did Carson too.
Courtney.
Chandler.
Oh, I didn't
Charlie.
think of like CH names like Charles.
I
and
put too many CH names.
Charlie. Those are some good ones. Let's move on to our next one. Couple more left to go. Drinks that start with the letter S. Okay, let's go to Salon.
Well, all I had was Sprite. That was it.
That's good. I mean, Sprite. Yeah.
I got a lot this time.
Here, let's look at the comments, see what they got. Strawberry punch. I didn't even think of like strawberry punch. Strawberry
Soy
drinks.
milk. Sparkling
Strawberry
milk.
milk. Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that.
I put Sprite. I don't know why I put sugar water. I don't know if that's a thing. I put a s'mores frappuccino. I put spearmint tea, soda, strawberry acai refresher. That's what I get at Starbucks. Strawberry lemonade and strawberry milkshake.
Wow.
I kind of
Wow.
went out of the box there.
That's very
With
out of
menu
the box.
items.
The sparkling water, soy milk. I didn't think of that either. I thought I had something up there. I just put down salt water and sugar water.
Salt water.
What is sugar water?
Sweet tea is one.
Oh, sweet tea.
Oh,
Not a-
sweet tea. Oh my
You can drink
gosh.
salt water. I think that's dangerous.
Well, like you switch it around after you lose a tooth, but I don't think that
You
counts.
won't drink it, you spit it out.
Yeah, I
Drink it
said
in
sugar
the
water
ocean.
like. I said it like what you pour in your drink. Like, you know how people pour those in their drinks to like mix up and stuff?
But that's like with lemon. That's not like just normally.
No, I'm talking about like those sugar packets.
I know you don't just put the sugar packets in your water.
But you like okay, whatever. Whatever. Moving on. Mariah can do the next one.
Okay, so these sports that start with the letter H. This is difficult. Start the timer.
Alright. So I'm pretty sure that was a super obvious one. But we'll go to Olivia for her answers if she got any creative ones.
Just hockey. Couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah. Anybody get anything else besides hockey?
Me.
Field
I
hockey.
don't think
Okay. Hockey
Different,
and field hockey.
I guess.
street hockey.
It's just hockey.
Ball hockey. Hockey, knee hockey.
Oh, I just thought of one.
I could,
Hacky sack.
Oh, hacky
Do we know
sack.
hacky sack?
Sport though.
Yeah. It's like a little beanbag and you tap it around.
I said hot potatoes. It can be very competitive. Okay.
Okay. I see
It really is.
RJ put handball, which is what I put down too. I got hockey and handball. So I don't
for high
know.
dive, you can
High
Oh
dive.
yeah, high dive. That's like diving.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What am I
Yeah.
sounding like?
Oh, high jump.
Well, we'll get to our last and final one, which also might be a little hard. Movies that start with the letter L. All right. I think the obvious one was Lion King. Trey, did you get any other movies?
Yes. So I had La La Land, I had Lilo and Stitch, and I had Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, I got two.
Oh, that was good. La La Land. That one was one like didn't even cross my mind. Lilo and Stitch is good, and
Lady and
Lady and the Tramp. That's really. I got Lemonade Mouth too.
Me
from,
too.
like,
I put
Disney.
Lemonade. I think I cheated because I put Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and I could put Lion King 1.5. So,
Ooh.
and then I put Little Women, Let It Shine, and Life Size.
Yeah. We got.
So
Lion
I
King
kind of
on there.
stretched it. So I put in Space Jam because it was Looney Tunes in it. Kind of works, maybe. Hopefully that counts.
I know if that counts.
I don't think so.
I just thought the Little Mermaid too. I don't know if that counts because there's a the in front of it.
Well, the Lion King.
I don't think those
Yeah.
count.
In the comments, we got a lot of Lion King, Little Women, Lilo and Stitch, Little Princess. I never heard of that movie, but yeah.
Anybody say
Fun
Les
times.
Mis?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's one too. That's one too.
Where are my
Did anybody
kids
else
in the
get any
audience?
other movies? Nope. Alright, well, that was super fun. That was a really great category game. Thank you guys so much for participating with us and commenting. You guys had very great ideas. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go into a prayer. So I'm guessing I'm the person who's going to pray. And then after that, we'll go into our song selection and then our Right Now Media video lesson for the day. So everybody close their eyes and bow their heads for a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us all to this live stream today, God. I thank you for every individual person that is watching with us today. And I just ask that you allow them to get something out of this live stream and to want to be with you and want to have a relationship with you, God. We love you and praise you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Ah.
Life is a journey. We succeed and we fail. In difficult seasons, our focus tends to be self-centered. We get so fixed on what others are telling us is important, it's easy to lose perspective. Sometimes we live so cautiously that we never really give God a chance to come through. You don't have to have a dream to play ball or rule the world. Just risk what you have for the sake of helping others and see what God does in your life and in the people around you. Believe. Take that step forward and put your journey in God's hands. Every year, my foundation has a weekend where our whole goal is to raise money for our foundations and all of our initiatives to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need, to try to change the world for the better, to try to bring Jesus to this world and help those that are hurting. And this weekend really starts by having a celebrity gala. It's always so fun. There's a red carpet. Everybody gets dolled up, dressed up, brings out their best swag for it. The last few years, me and my brothers and some of my friends, we've had a bet. Who's gonna look the best? Who's gonna have the best swag, the best gear? And it really ends with us just sitting around and arguing about it and kind of making fun of each other. It's really not that big of a deal, but this year afterwards, I was kind of convicted of it because this is a weekend where we're coming together and looking nice on the outside so we can change the inside for thousands of people all over the world that have never been able to hear about a God that loves them, that don't know what hope looks like, that have never had someone care about them, and we're worried about who's got on a better tux and whose bow tie looks a little bit cooler. I mean, it was mine, let's just be honest about that. But this year it kind of put it into perspective. What are we really arguing about? Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I want to share a passage with you that's one of my favorite passages because I think it puts into perspective what really matters. When you are invited to a wedding feast, don't sit in the seat of honor. What if someone who is more distinguished than you has also been invited? The host will come and say, "Give this person your seat." Then you will be embarrassed and you have to take the seat which is left at the foot of the table. Instead, take the lowest place at the foot of the table. Then when your host sees you, he will come and say, "Friend, we have a better place for you." Then you will be honored in front of all the other guests. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Then Jesus turns to the host and gives him an even more countercultural message. When you put on a luncheon or a banquet, don't invite your friends, brothers, relatives, and rich neighbors, for they will invite you back, and that will be your only reward. Instead, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind. Then at the resurrection of the righteous, God will reward you for inviting those who could not repay you. See, to me, this is all about perspective. Having the right perspective, not getting caught up in things that don't matter, not thinking of yourselves higher than you ought, but understanding that wherever you're at, God has a plan for you and He can use you, but not if you think that you're at the head of the table. But if you're willing to step back and say, okay, who's around here that I can serve, that I can lift up, that I can put ahead of me? A little over a year ago, my baseball team was heading to the gym one morning before we played the evening game, and this is really my chance to really put in my headphones and focus, get a good lift in, really think, get away from everybody. It's supposed to be private, but this session was not. Everybody working in the gym was doing the old, I'm not bothering you, but I'm sneaky taking a picture or I'm videoing you. And then a couple minutes into it, they gained more courage. So now they're truly coming up to you and they're like, "I'm sorry to bother you." And I'm like, "No, you're not." And they're like, "Well, can we get a picture?" Sure. And so then what was supposed to be a private workout was a meet and greet session, which I was not really happy about. And it was kind of irritating. Just 45 minutes where I could train, where I could go to work and kind of not worry about everything else. So me and one of my teammates and one of my coaches, we leave early and we walk down the street to a Publix. And I walk into that Publix so frustrated, irritated. I just want a couple minutes where I can just be by myself and get a workout in. But was like, oh well. So I walked to the back of the store to get a protein shake and something to eat. And when I get to the back of the store, I see a mom and her son. Son's probably late high school, maybe early college, and I could see that he had special needs. And I've really had a heart for people with special needs ever since I was 15 years old, and I met a boy with his feet on backwards in the jungles of the Philippines that his village looked at him as cursed. And so ever since then, I've had a heart for people with special needs. And so I figured maybe I'm gonna try to walk by and maybe he'll notice me and I can encourage him or take a picture with him. But I walk by and obviously he doesn't notice me. He keeps his head on the ground and the mom doesn't notice me or say anything. So I was like, oh well. So go to the other end of the store and grab a few snacks, and then I go to check out and I could see they were in line, and so I stood behind them. Maybe they would recognize me again and I could encourage him, and they don't. But then all of a sudden, a lot of the workers at Publix and some of the other shoppers recognize me, and they start coming up to me and asking for pictures and a few autographs, and next thing you know, instead of 2 or 3 people, it's 10, 12, 15 people. And so, I finish and I sign and take pictures with everybody, and finally I finish with the last person, and I turn back around and the mom kind of points at me and she says, what's your name? And I said, my name's Tim. And she said, what's your last name? And I said, Tim Tebow. And instantly she starts to cry and her jaw kind of drops. And she turns to her son and she turns him around and she said, son, this is the young man that loves you enough to throw a prom for you. He starts smiling and then he starts crying, and both of them start hugging me, and their tears lead me to crying, and the cashier at Publix is crying, and we finally stop crying, and I get a few minutes to talk to them and hear their story, and that he had been to the last 2 Night to Shines, and just how it impacted his life, and how grateful she was, because as a mother of someone with special needs, how hard it can be. And even going to Publix, you never know when something is going to happen. And so just to be able to have that time where I could encourage them, but really be encouraged myself, because I walked into Publix so irritated and frustrated because it just wasn't going the way that I wanted. But meeting them and having the chance to hear their story and how my life was a part of their story, it was so encouraging that, wait a second, I gotta have perspective on what really matters. And it's not about being irritated because I can't get a few minutes by myself at a gym. It's about what really matters, what's important, having true perspective. You see, we never know when God's gonna do something amazing in our life, but we have to have our eyes open, being ready for the right perspective, because we never know behind the next door if that's when God is gonna do something special, if that's when God is gonna show up. And I remember walking out of that Publix, getting into an Uber with my teammate and my coach, and sitting there as we drive back to the hotel. And that's when I came up with the idea of writing this book, of doing this Bible study. This is the day. This is the day where God can show up, even if you don't know He's going to show up, even if you're not ready for Him to show up, even if you're already irritated. And I think the God of this universe wants to use whatever you're going through, whatever it's frustrating, the obstacles, the disappointments. God will use it. He's a big God, and He's not a God that just performed miracles 2,000 years ago. I believe He wants to do that, and He is doing that today. And I believe He wants to do that in your life as well. But I think it takes us having the right perspective. This life isn't about what we put on the outside. It isn't about our suit. It isn't about our tux. It's not about how fancy we can be. It's about the lives that we can change on the inside. And how ultimately our goal should be to serve. Because the God that we serve, He sent His Son to serve us, taking on the form of a bondservant and being made in likeness of men. Jesus said, I'm going to come because I love you that much. And He came on a rescue mission for every single one of us. And He died so that we could live, but not so we can put ourselves at the front of the table and say, look at me. No, so we can say, you know what? I'm content because I know the God of this universe, so I'll sit at the foot of the table and I'll find those around me that I can serve, that I can love, that I can care about. And watch how much God will do in you and through you when we say, you know what? I'm content enough to say, I don't need to look fancy. I don't have to put it on the outside because I have it on the inside. And watch the people's lives that you can change around you. Because it's not about our fancy exterior. It's about what God's doing in the interior. And when He shows up in our lives, He's going to show out in our lives. And He can change so many lives through us.
All right. So, something that Tim touched on was Luke 14, verse 7 through 14, and he read it, but I'm kind of going to read it for a reminder. It says, when he noticed how the guests picked the places of honor at the table, he told them this parable. When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place of honor, for a person more distinguished than you may have been invited. If so, the host who invited both of you will come and say to you, give this person your seat. Then, humiliated, you will have to take the least important place. But when you are invited, take the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he will say to you, friend, move up to a better place. Then you will be honored in the presence of all the other guests. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Then Jesus said to his host, when you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends, your brothers or sisters, your relatives, or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you will be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. So, with that being said, um, we can kind of ask the panel at first, and then people can comment below the answers to the discussion questions. But what are some times in our life where we can be tempted to, kind of hype ourselves up and not be humble about ourselves? We can start with Olivia for the answer to this question.
So it's a weird thing with our generation, kind of a competition all the time about things that we don't need to compete about. Um, we will hype ourselves up over like, oh, I got this many likes today on this pic, and then be like, I also got 2 hours of sleep, and I'm running on nothing. Like it's a competition to do the worst, but it's also a competition to humbly be better than other people. And I see that quite a bit. And I think that's a good example of times where we like hype ourselves up when the stakes aren't high. And I don't think we shouldn't hype ourselves up. Like I'm applying to college right now, and that's a time where you need to hype yourself up. But like in conversations with your friends, you start arguing or just trying to one up each other over things that don't even matter.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with the social media part of that, where we try to, compare likes and stuff. And we were just talking about that yesterday, weren't we, Mariah?
Yes, we were.
With the social media, when we were in a Bible study, we were talking about how that is a really big influence. And I'm going to see, I think Mara said a comment. I'm going to read hers. It says, I think it happens when we reach the top of a division. As soon as you become a fifth grader, you forget what you wanted and needed as a first grader. Eighth graders forget about being a sixth grader. Then she said, and seniors especially like to pretend we were never freshmen who needed guidance and support. And that's definitely true. I feel that because me being an upperclassman now, when the freshmen come in, I'm like, oh, freshman, like, you know what I mean? But I was there 3 years ago, so I think that's a really big thing with schools as well. When we tend to hype ourselves up or, give ourselves all the credit. But Mariah, you want to ask the next question?
Yes. So Tim was talking about how him and his friends compared the like tuxedos and the outfits that they're wearing at the gala. So God recently told him that he doesn't need to like look the best to impress people. So he said, having the best appearance is not what serving others is about. Why do you think we're always focused on our appearance or what our reputation is? And why do we want to look or act the best?
Mm-hmm. And Salon or Trey can hop in on this one since this is our second / last question.
I would say we're more focused on our appearance or reputation because if we have a bad appearance or reputation, people are going to think, oh, this person is not great. Oh, this person sucks. So we're always focused on keeping our appearance and reputation or trying to keep it above other people, I would say.
Yeah. Swan, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so like when you do that, it's like you're afraid of their opinion, like what they're gonna say about you, and like things like that. Like, what are you wearing? What are you doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think another thing about it is like all we want to do as humans is to be loved. And so making yourself feel above or better than other people is like self satisfaction. So that's kind of what is drawing us to compare to other people and make ourselves feel like we're above them so we can be satisfied.
Yeah. Satisfying. Yeah. I think definitely, like what Mariah said, we often try to satisfy ourselves, and it makes us feel better about ourselves when we get compliments from other people for our appearance and whatnot, especially at school or in sports, and it's like, oh, I got this touchdown, and everybody like congratulates you and whatnot. It's just being recognized and having that recognition. So I think that's another big thing. And with that discussion, it was kind of a short one today. It was kind of a short video too. But thank you so much for our discussion panel joining us today. Um, if you would like to join the church, for all of our viewers watching with us today, go to faithministries.church/connect. And also remind you to fill out the Google form today. Please, please, please fill out the Google form at faithministries.church/youth. And make sure you click that Get Involved button so you can join the committees. Yep. So,
Yep.
You want to close us out, Mariah?
And what?
To say thanks.
Oh, thank you everybody for coming. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And click the link in the description. Okay. So, yeah.
Yes. Make sure you subscribe and click that bell notification so you can be notified when we post something. And also, we're on Instagram as well at FMC_YTH, so FMC Youth. And yeah, invite a friend next time. Invite a friend to watch the playback. You can watch it anytime on our channel. But that's it for today, guys. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.